Yes, folks, welcome back to the channel on another wet and windy day, but we're here for the third and final part of the series where we've been looking at your conditioning for footballers, helping you perform at your best for 90 minutes and more. We've already looked at your aerobic base, we've looked at the high-speed running, and now we're looking at the top-end stuff. We're looking at your sprinting. So without much further ado, let's get into it. So if you haven't already, I would recommend you check out part 1 and part 2 of this series because it leads us really nicely into this one. Certainly last week with the high-speed running stuff, which we were working at that slightly higher intensity, not quite a flat-out sprint yet, but we're working right up there. It leads us nicely into this week when we're looking at those flat-out sprints, working really, really hard, okay? Unlike part 1 where we're working for sort of 5, 6, maybe 8-minute blocks, we're not doing that this week. We're working for less time, but when we work flat out, and that's really, really important to remember. So no more talking, let's have a look at the drill. So I call this one the jog, sprint, jog, walk, and you'll see why when the graphic starts playing. But essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working from goal line to goal line and back again. And we're going to start the drill off with the jog from the goal line towards the edge of the box. Now, as you get towards the edge of the box, try and speed it up a little bit because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking into a full sprint. So edge of the box to the halfway line is a full sprint. Yeah, really, really go for it. Once you cross the halfway line, ease it back into a jog. Try not to stop really quickly. Try and ease it back into a jog. See that jog through to the opposite edge of the box. Get to the edge of the box and genuinely walk because it's your active recovery time. You will need that. So walking, you're going to get all the way to the opposite goal line, hit the goal line, turn it around, repeat the process. Jog, sprint, jog, walk. Really, really simple to remember. Beautiful thing about this one as well is it doesn't require any timing. There's no need to time anything, all right? So you can just go for it. But what I'll do is in the description of the video, like I did with the other two, I'll put a breakdown, beginner, intermediate, pro, and elite levels in terms of how many you do, how we can tweak the rest times in between blocks to make it slightly easier or slightly harder in terms of the intensity, okay? But really important to remember, you are sprinting as hard as you can. That's how you get the most out of this drill. But before you do it, please make sure you're fully warm. That goes without saying for any drill, always make sure you're warm. But certainly this one, when we're going to flat out, full intensity sprints, you do want to make sure you're warm, okay? But the beautiful thing about this drill as well is I've used it a lot of times for topping players up, sometimes at the end of matches, if you're a sub, if you only play like 15 or 20 minutes and you just want to get a bit more into the legs, if you're coming back from injury as well and you're trying to get players up to speed quite quickly, it's quite a good one to use. Again, no equipment required, just a pitch, no timing, nothing. It's a really, really good one to use. Play around with it. Again, if you're slightly newer to these, really high intensity drills, start with the beginner versions, of those intensities and really start to add on top of it. But that will do it for the series. So thank you ever so much for watching. Like I say, if you haven't already, go back and watch part 1 and part 2 because it leads us into this one. It's a nice one to follow through. And if you haven't seen any of the other videos that we've been doing on the channel, certainly for younger players looking at developing good movement capabilities, accelerating, changing direction really quickly and all those good stuff, go and check those out as well. But that'll do it for this one. If you haven't already, please drop us a like, please subscribe and things like that to the channel so more and more players can see these videos and we can get the messages out there. But thank you ever so much for watching and I will see you very, very soon.